Alright, so let's begin. Hi there, you guys. How are you doing? Thank you for coming to today's class. So like I said last time, basically we're going to be doing these short videos with a specific topic. We're going to be talking about things that you might find interesting in your life, in your career, and things like that. And the main purpose of this is to practice English. This class is oriented for Chinese native speakers who are learning English. And I'm going to be, using a bit of English, a bit of Chinese in the process. And of course, sometimes I'm going to be using words in Chinese to try to explain things a little bit. My Chinese is not great, so bear with me. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. This topic, actually, we're going to be talking about dreams and the importance that dreams have in our life. Now, what I mean by this is, what kind of dreams? Well, goal dreams, like goals in your life, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to get to eventually in your life. These kind of goals, these kind of dreams. Now, the first thing I think it's important to cover, the first thing that I think it's important to address is, why are dreams important? What does it mean to you to have a dream? Why is it that we care about it so much, right? We seem to care about it because I think it drives us. It gives us a reason, a purpose. It gives us a reason to move forward, to keep working hard, studying hard if you're a student, working hard if you're already at your job, and simply just giving us a reason to get up every day and say, okay, here we go. Because life can get difficult. So having a goal, having a dream kind of gives you the focus, the purpose of like, oh, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I know why I need to work this hard. I know what I'm trying to achieve, right? So that's kind of where it comes from. 那么我刚才说的是什么呢？是我们为什么有一个梦想？为什么有那么多人喜欢讨论这个题目呢？为什么喜欢说，哎，你梦想是什么？你生活当中有什么梦想？想要得到什么？想要有什么成功呢？我自己的想法是有可能是因为我们每一个人就需要每一天有一个目的。每天为什么需要这么努力工作，这么努力去学习？比如说你是个学生啊，是个学生，你肯定要很辛苦的学，是吧？准备考试啊，做作业啊，上课什么的，可能你的课程表有蛮多的课，所以你每天可能会自己问自己，那我为什么要这么努力？有时候这个答案就是你自己梦想，我是要做这个，因为我想要得到什么，所以那个你要得到的那些东西就是你的梦想。这个是我觉得最具体的一个表达方法，我自己觉得的一个想法，我自己有的一个看法是，每个人的梦想是就给自己一个月来的目的。你为什么要每天做什么？你为什么要每天去学去上班什么的，是吧 ？But of course, it doesn't mean that everyone needs to have a dream, right? It's not like, oh, I have a dream, you need to have a dream, you need to have a dream, everybody needs to have a dream. I think that's a bit dangerous. It's a bit dangerous. It gets a little bit complicated with dreams because it's like, does everyone really have to have a dream, right? Like, what I noticed that happened sometimes is that there's so many people on the internet, on the news, even our teachers sometimes asking us, what is your dream? What do you want to achieve? Work for your dreams, fight for your dreams, work hard. And it's like, hold on, but what if I don't have a dream, right? Because it makes it a bit dangerous, I think, to just simply say, oh yeah, dreams are good, they're important, everyone should have a dream, right? It's a little dangerous because basically what could happen, or what tends to happen is that there's a lot of people that find themselves a bit like depressed, maybe a little sad, maybe a little bit down, like, oh, I don't have a dream. What's wrong with me? Look at this person or that person working really hard for their dreams. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So is there something wrong with me? Am I missing something? Is this my fault? Do I need to change? What can I do? And that is something that I think is just the result of not understanding where you should begin when it comes to having or not having a dream and trying or not to achieve your goals, right? So the first thing that I think it's important is to understand in which mental state you need to be, in which emotional situation you need to be able to go out there and say, I'm going to pursue my dreams, I'm going to achieve my dreams, I'm going to go and fight for my goals, right? There is an understanding that needs to happen first. So that's what we're going to do now. Now we're going to go into, okay, what is this process that we need to understand? That I believe it's important to understand before you start simply going and saying, I'm going to go achieve my dreams, work really hard every day, and that's what I'm going to do. 好，那我刚刚说的什么是 我们可能有时候是每个人都说，每天都听到会老师问的，或者在网络上看视频，或者那个新闻当中都有很多人在讨论这个你有什么梦想？你长大以后也要做什么？要当什么？从你小当成的以后，就是从小开始，每一个人都会问我们，你自己有什么梦想？你自己想要得到什么？想要做什么？你是要赚钱当老板？当一个医生，是英文老师，你要做什么？有一个很大的压力，就是在问我们，你有什么梦想？所以我觉得这个是有点，可能有点不是太对的一个方法。为什么呢？因为这么多人来问你有什么梦想，那就会影响你自己的想法，对你自己的看法，你自己可能因为有很多人情况不一样，是吧？每个人都不一样。会有可能有很多人自己觉得，其实我不知道，我不是很清楚我要做什么，我不是很理解我自己到时候要做什么，干什么，有什么梦想。那么是我做吗？是我男友做吗？是不是我有什么缺了什么东西？我为什么没有这个梦想？我听到了有那么多人说他们自己有什么梦想，有什么目的，想要做什么，得到什么，我自己没有这个，那是我做吗？是不是我男友缺了什么？所以我觉得，首先需要的是，你去想要得到你的梦想之前，想要去努力的做你想要做的之前，你需要先了解一下你自己的情况，每一个人的情况，因为每个人是完全不一样，所以我觉得有一些东西是需要先了解一下，再可以去考虑一下我自己是有什么梦想，或者没有，或者想要得到什么样的梦想，是吧？所以我们接下来就开始说一下我刚说的这个需要了解什么呢？看一下。So yeah, the first point I want to make in this process that you need to do before you begin trying to go and achieve your dreams and achieve your goals and oh my god, fight hard, work hard, day out, before you go into all of that, there needs to be an understanding of your situation, of who you are, of what you are, etc. So where do we begin? I believe that the first point that we need to make is that life is full of changes. Life is in constant change, right? Let's write that down. Constant change. Right, so I'm writing it here so that it's clear, it's easier to remember for us, and maybe we learn some new words. And for those of you who are using this video to practice English, so constant change, right? Constant. It means something that happens continuously. It happens again and again and again, and it's not going to stop happening. Change. It means when a thing is one way, and then later on, it's a complete different way. Or it can be a small change. There can be big changes. There can be small changes. A change in your appearance, for example. You could cut your hair. Your hair was long. Now you cut it, so there is a change in your appearance. You've changed your appearance. You've cut your hair. There can be a change in your attitude in your life. Maybe before you were a bit shy, you don't like going out too much, but then you decided, you know what, I need to have a change in my attitude, in the way I live my life. So I want to go out more, meet more friends, meet more people, try to get out more. There's a change in your life. So that's a change, right? So life it's a constant change. That means that, nothing in our lives, it's going to stay one way. Right? When we're small, when we're young, when we're little, right? Life is one way. We have a family, maybe your parents, maybe your grandparents, older brothers, older sisters, younger brothers, younger sisters, whatever your family is. But when you're young, little, you have your family, you live with them, you don't pay for your own things, they take care of you, you go to school once you're old enough to go to school, etc. Then you finish, primary school, depending on where you study. Every country has a different system, but you finish your primary school, you have to go to your middle school, then you have to go to high school. Once you finish that, then you go to university. When you finish university, you have to find a job. And even once you get to the job, it's not like you get the same job and you stay there for the rest of your life. Some people do that, but I feel like it's a minority. It's a very small amount of people who do that. The majority of us, once we finish university, we're going to go on getting one job, then another one, Even if you stay within the same company, you're still likely to get a promotion, change to another department, maybe you discover that you like that more, or you're better at doing this, maybe you started working in marketing, but you realize, oh, actually, I'm better in that other department, so you change there, right? So there's a constant change. Now, this is kind of obvious, right? But I feel like it's important to say it because it's really, really important for people to understand, for us to understand, for myself. This what I'm saying here is just my own life experience, what I've experienced, what I've lived, what I've seen, what I've heard from my friends and my family, and also what I've read, because I'm really interested and really curious in these kind of topics. So apart from teaching languages and stuff, I'm always really interested in these kind of topics of life goals and mental health and having a good balanced life, etc. Because life is difficult, life is complicated, so I like to read and find out as much as I can. So this is all coming from my perspective, my opinion of what I've lived, what I've seen, and what I've read in whatever little sources I found. And constant change is important, I would say, because understanding that means that you can't blame yourself for everything. You can't blame yourself for everything that is going on in your life. You need to understand that there are things in this life that are not up to you, and that's okay. They will affect your life, they will make your life different, sometimes maybe a little bit more difficult, sometimes a little bit easier, but that's okay. You need to adapt to this change. Of course, you need to be able to adjust to the new situations. But if you're not able to first accept that there is a lot of things always changing, and it's not your fault, and you can't stop it because it's just the way life is, then it's going to be very hard to adapt to that change. So first you need to accept it. There is change in life, it's always changing, and it's not up to me, it's not my fault, and it's okay, it's normal, it's natural. So then you can begin to adapt to these changes a little bit easier, a little bit faster, right? And so with that constant change comes another concept that I think is very important. But first, let's dive back into Chinese a little bit. 我刚才说的是 constant change. Constant change 是一个不停的变化 ，right？ 每一个人的生活是不停的变化。每一天，你小时候可能是你在家里跟你妈妈、爸爸或者奶奶，你一直跟他们一起住的是吧？长大以后你是你自己一个人，或者你找到了一个老公，然后你们两个人一起住的，到时候你会有自己的孩子，小时候你要上高中是吧？高中没有，先要上叫什么小学，然后再上高中以后要去上大学是吧？高中以后有什么？有初中、高中，然后才去大学对吧？那么我这个意思是什么？这个是我想说的，就是每一个人有一个变化，然后这个变化不是你自己的错，而且也不是你自己能做到什么，你不能去骗它，你不能去让生活不变的，生活是原来就会是这样子的，我们自己没有这个能力说，我生活不想要有什么变化，我就想要从现在到什么就一直都一样的是吧？没有人有这个能力，你只有能做到的是你要去改自己，你去改自己，有发现有这个改变，有你自己的生活有新的一个情况，然后你要去改，怎么去适合你自己的想法，你自己本来是什么人，适合这个新的情况是吧？因为每一个情况都会改变，然后会改变了以后，那你怎么办呢？你不能一直在说，以前我好喜欢，以前有什么什么的，或者我以前很开心，现在不是很开心的，怎么办呢？不行，我喜欢是以前的样子，现在不喜欢。因为如果你继续这样下去说，那就肯定不会开心起来，不会有一次再说，我这个喜欢，因为你一直在想以前是怎么样的，那肯定以前的时间对我们来说看起来更美，是吧？因为现在已经过去了，所以需要的是先了解一下，先明白，很清楚的记得，我们的生活当中会有各种各样的改变，不是我们自己做了什么，不是我们自己有什么做错，没有，本来生活就是这样子的，我们只能做的是去改自己，首先收到这个改变，首先说可以，我明白，我知道这个不是我做了什么，是本来生活是这样子的，然后再去改变自己，怎么去面对这个情况是吧？再可以去了解一个新的情况是吧？然后第二个是，从这个就可以说第二个想要说的是 environment， right? So number 2 that I want to talk about is the environment. The environment. Sometimes I feel like we don't give the environment enough importance. It is important. Now, I'm not saying that you should use your environment as an excuse to not try to work towards your goals, to not try to achieve something in your life. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to acknowledge that your environment will affect you. And again, it's not your fault. It's just what it is. And the sooner you acknowledge that this environment is not your fault, but it is a part of what makes you, you, then the sooner you can understand who you really are and what you're able to do. The sooner you're able to understand, oh, that's why I can do this. That's why before I could do that and now I can't do that anymore, right? So, for example, it happens a lot. It happened to me as well. When I was in university, I was always thinking, oh my God, I'm such a bad student. Like, when I was in high school, I worked so hard. I read so many books. I was a great student when I was in high school. But now that I'm in uni, I'm just a terrible student. I'm just, I'm not as hardworking. I'm not keeping up. It's much harder to keep up than it used to be when I was in high school. So, to that situation, instead of me blaming myself, being like, what happened to me? Why am I so lazy now? Why am I not able to do this the way I used to do? The best way to go about it, and unfortunately I didn't understand that at the beginning, it took me a long time to understand that what you need to know and what you need to tell yourself is, look, first, which is the first thing we talked about, life is a constant change. Life's changed. I'm older. I'm not the same age I was when I was in high school. I'm older now. I was in a different country. I grew up in my country where we speak Spanish, and I started in Spanish in high school, and well, a bit in English as well. And then I went to China to study in China, because that's what I did at my university. And there we were studying in Chinese. So, it's a huge life change. And obviously I was aware of it, but I feel like I was not giving it enough importance, right? And then with that also comes the environment, right? When I was in high school, the environment was very different. It was very helpful, so to speak. Teachers are there to help. Teachers are there to help you, go forward, push harder, do your best, achieve as much as you can so that you go on to university to do your absolute best, right? Especially the high school that I went to, we were very few students per group. We were like, 12 or 14, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it was a very small amount of students per classroom. So that means that we got the individual attention of the teacher quite often, and that allowed us to just, do a lot better. We had a lot of teachers who cared a lot about us. We had a lot of teachers who were able to physically give us more time to our questions, to what we needed help with, etc. And so that obviously helped me be a better student, achieve more, do more. When I was at university, the environment, because of a life change, the environment was much, much different. Now I was in a classroom with 52 students. I was number 52. I remember that because I was the last one to arrive. So there was 52 of us for one teacher, and every teacher had several groups to take care of, right? They had several groups to teach, because these are not teachers anymore. They're professors at a university. They have hundreds of students. So they're no longer able, not because they don't care or because they can't, because they don't want. It's because they're physically not able to give individual attention to me and to my classmates the way that in high school they could, right? Because even I'm in a different environment now. I'm in a different country. I'm in a different standard situation. Now it's a university, it's not a high school. Much bigger, a lot more people, right? A bigger group with my classmates, etc., just for our major. So that alone already makes things different. And you can't blame yourself for everything 100%. Now, again, I'm not saying that should have been an excuse for me having a poor performance, but it should have been a first step. Understand that there was a life change, a major life change, that there is a difference in the environment, instead of just trying to every day be like, oh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I'm a bad student. I'm not doing well. This is my fault. No. Take a step back and first acknowledge and understand that there is a life change, that there is a very different environment we find ourselves in, and then, okay, now what can I do about that? Knowing what I know, knowing the differences, what am I able to do? 那么 environment 这个是什么？ environment 这个字这些啊 environment 这个字是环境，是吧？你自己的环境，自己的环境是什么样的环境？你现在要考虑一下，你现在的环境跟以前的环境是不是不一样的？是不是完全不一样？比如说我刚才说的是我自己有的一个情况，我自己发现过的一个事情，我自己的生活。是什么呢？是我上大学的时候，我是在中国上大学的，是吧？然后我在中国上大学，那个时候我都发现了，我怎么现在我以前能做到的都做不了？ 我现在做作业是很慢做的，然后可能我的成绩不是特别好。我以前上高中的时候，我的成绩是很高的，然后现在我上大学啊，不是这样子的。那是我那时候我一直在问我自己，那我哪做了？是我为什么这样子呢？我为什么有这么？是我变得更笨了吗？还是什么？我为什么这样子呢？为什么不能做到我以前能做到的这个能力呢？为什么我以前的这个水平没有的？那我觉得是我那个时候我错的是我没有了解到，我没有明白我自己的环境和我自己的生活都有一个很大的变化。那么我说这个肯定不是说那就不是我有什么想要做的，完全不是我自己的情况，没有，只有说那个环境是环境是吧？那可以我放松，没有，不是这样说的。我的意思就是，你首先需要去了解一下，去明白你的情况和你的环境是怎么样的，有什么变化没有，然后你再可以去考虑一下，那我能做什么？首先我要了解一下我的情况怎么变的，有什么变化，有什么不一样。比如说我上高中的时候，我刚刚说了，上高中的时候我们班是14个学生是吧？14个同学。那么这么少的学生，肯定老师上课的时间他能做到的是一个很重要的事情，是可以考虑每一个人的学习情况是吧？但是上大学的时候，我们那时候是20多个不是20，我说什么？52个52个学生，那52个同学，那当然这么多人，老师不是不想要做的，是他没有办法做得到，去考虑每一个人的学习情况是怎么样的，怎么去帮他，或者怎么去帮他，是吧？这个是他没有办法做得到。所以我首先需要是去了解一下我自己的情况，我自己环境有什么变化，然后才可以说好，那我现在已经明白我的这个变化，我自己的这个环境是怎么样的，跟以前有什么不一样，再可以去说那我能做什么。但是如果你现在开始说是是我自己做，我那做，那这个是真的没有办法能做到你想做的，因为你继续说是你自己做，没有考虑一下你自己的环境或者你自己的生活有什么变化，没有办法，是做不了的。因为你首先要了解一下你自己生活是怎么样的。好 ，next would be controlling your emotions rather than your emotions controlling you. Right? So, control over your emotions. I like to write it to make sure that we don't forget anything. Right? So, control over your emotions. Making sure that you're in charge of how your emotions make you act, right? Not how they make you feel, but how they make you act. With emotions, I've been reading a lot about this for my own personal situations that I've been through in my life, especially recently. I've been with a lot of like stress and anxiety and frustration, etc. So I've been reading a lot about this, and what's really important to understand is that emotions are very powerful, they're very strong, and they go through our brains in a way that if you don't understand it and you don't work on it, then they could take over you and they could end up making you feel and act and do things that usually you wouldn't do, right? That's how you end up anxious. That's how you end up stressed, that's how you end up depressed, that's how you end up feeling down, etc. So how does that work? Obviously, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Psychologist, I'm not even sure what the difference is. I believe a psychologist is the one who studies this, and a psychiatrist is the one who practices helping other people. Anyways, I digress. The point is, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not trying to give you advice on how to deal with your emotional situation. If you have a real serious situation, or you have any problems with your emotional stability, you should look for a professional, right? This is not what this is. This is just a topic that I like and that we can use to practice English. That's the main goal. So, with that being said, what I found when it comes to controlling your emotions is that there is kind of like 2 steps, so to speak, right? The first is you have these emotions, you feel them, and that is completely fine. You feel these emotions, and whatever emotions you're feeling, you shouldn't try to bottle them, close them. You need to feel them, you need to experience them. Make sure that you don't hide anything. If you're sad, you're sad. If you're happy, you're happy. If you are angry, you're angry. Go through your emotions, feel them, allow them to go through your system, through your brain, and how it all works in you, and make you feel the way it is. But once that first step is taken, then you take the second step right away and you try to be mindful of what these emotions are. Right? Mindful, it means you try to be aware, try to pay attention of, okay, I am sad. Why am I sad? What made me sad? What happened just now that made me feel this way? Should I actually be this sad about it, or is it actually not worth being that upset about it? Can I do something about it? Can I change the situation? I'm anxious, I'm angry, or I'm scared. Can I do something about it? Right? Because your body is going to react. If you don't think about it, if you don't process these emotions and control it, then they're going to control you, and then things are going to happen that you're not even aware of or able to control. It's just going to happen. You're going to start crying for no reason. You're going to feel nervous, and you're not going to be able to go and do what you have to do. My younger sister had a problem with this. She would study for exams, work really, really hard, study very hard, and then she would go and take the exam, and she would get so anxious when it was time to take the test that even though she knew everything that was in the test and she was ready for it, she was so nervous that she would almost block her mind and not be able to understand the questions, remember the information, and she would end up failing the exams, even though she knew everything. So this emotion, this nervous emotion, this anxious emotion that went over her, instead of her controlling it and understanding it and, being like, oh, this is what's happening, it's an exam, this is what's making me nervous, what does it mean, what can I do, maybe I can breathe, calm down, look at it take my time, etc. No, what happened, because she was very young and didn't understand that at the time, was the opposite. She would actually end up getting so stressed, so nervous that her own brain was unable to think and remember all of the information she studied before, or unable to understand the questions that before she would have understood without a problem, right? So that's what this is about. Control your emotions, not hide your emotions, not pretend you don't feel your emotions. No, feel them, allow them to go through you, experience your emotions, but be mindful of it, right? Pay attention to what is happening, why is it happening, what can I do about it, what can I do that helps me feel better, feel more in control, more calm, come back to a calm state of mind, and then act, right? So that's kind of how this is about, right? So that would be a next step. 这个怎么说呢？这是在我来说有点难描述这个。可能是我自己的中文水平不是那么好，是吧？这个是 control over your emotions， 你自己的感觉，是吧？感觉是什么？我说这个感觉，我的意思是什么？我说的是，比如说你有时候感觉很开心，或者感觉很孤独，或者感觉很不开心的，或者感觉很生气的，是吧？那么你有这些感觉的时候，你是应该做什么？第一个是对我来说有两部分，第一个是你先需要去了解一下，发现了你要看一下这是什么，我现在有的这个感觉是什么感觉？你不要说我没这个感觉，你感觉到有点不开心，你不是说没事，然后就走了，或者你很开心的时候说好，放松，或者很生气的时候，你比如说我没有这个感觉，然后走了，我不想说什么。没有，因为这个是你不让你自己的感觉出来一下，那就到时候会是一个很大的问题。那我现在要说的是，我肯定不是医生，是吧？我不是什么很专业的想法，我这个是就我自己的想法。如果你自己有什么问题，或者你自己有一个很专业的一个事情的情况，那你肯定需要去找一个专业的人去看病，是吧？找一个医生。我们这个视频就是讨论这个我喜欢的这个题目，而且我自己以前跟这个题目有自己的过程，就讨论我自己有什么想法，就是为了练习我们语言的能力，是吧？是一边帮你们练你们的英语，是吧？也可以说是帮我练我的中文，是吧？所以这个不是一个很专业的想法，是我自己的想法啊。那我自己的想法是什么？我刚刚说了是有两部分，第一部分是你首先要说好我是有什么感觉，为什么有这个感觉？我是很开心的，那我很开心的我不开心，那我不开心，我生气了，那我生气了。你首先要说实话，那你自己说实话，我有什么真正的有什么感觉，是吧？不要骗自己。然后第二部分是你要去了解一下我为什么有这个感觉，我为什么那么不开心，我为什么那么生气，是什么让我这样感觉的？是有什么外面的东西让我有什么外面的情况让我感觉这样子的呢？然后再要想一下 我能做什么，我可以做什么，我怎么去把这个情况就让我的感觉放松下来一下，怎么做的呢？你自己要去考虑一下，每一个情况是不一样，而且每一个人是不一样的，是吧？我刚才说有一个例子是我自己姐姐是比我大比我小，是妹妹哦，我自己妹妹她自己有一个跟这个情况差不多的是，她上初中的时候，她马上要考试是吧？她很努力的准备考试，每天都学，每天都准备，然后到考试的时候已经准备好，然后去上考试，参加考试的时候，她就很紧张，感觉很紧张，有那么紧张，她就自己忘了她学到了什么，以前学了什么，而且她看这些问题，看题目都不明白题目是问的是什么，而且她应该怎么去回答。可以简单的说，是因为她有那么紧张，而且她没有理解到她为什么那么紧张，应该可以做什么，而且有一个可以做的一个练习，比如说我说我刚刚发现了我很紧张，那我为什么紧张？因为我要参加考试，好，那我就要我一个人，不要跟我朋友讨论一下，或者我朋友玩一下，然后才去参加考试。没有，我需要一天之前就我一个人很放松的，然后去参加考试的时候，我要放松，然后不要先就马上就老师给我考试的时候，我就马上要开始写，没有，首先要放下，然后先要放松一下，记得你准备的好，你已经知道这个考试的内容是什么，你都准备好了，然后才可以开始，是吧？他以前可能注重的时候，他没有理解到他自己的这个情况这个问题，所以他没有做到，所以有很多次他是有这个问题，他准备的考试准备的很好，然后去参加考试什么都忘了，然后考试成绩当然不好了，是吧？他自己不知道应该怎么做呢，应该怎么办？是我拿错了，需要去了解一下，是你自己的感觉 ，your emotions 有什么印象，怎么影响你自己的生活，怎么影响你每天要做的事情，是吧？需要感觉需要了解一下你的这些感觉怎么影响你的，然后你可能做什么，你可以做什么，你怎么让你自己放松一下，是吧？再可以说你了解到了。Okay, and the last point, this video is getting a bit long, I know, but the last point would be to be ready and be able to deal with failure, right? So, failure. Is that how you spell failure? I think so. Failure, right? Dealing with failure, it's really important to be able to do that. It's really important to be ready to do that, right? When you begin a challenge, a new dream, a new goal, you need to be aware of the possibility that you might fail. Now, it doesn't mean that you should be like, oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe not, whatever. No, that's not what it means. You can give 100% of yourself to that thing you want to do it. But be aware, be mindful that you might fail. It can happen. And if it does, what are you going to do? How are you going to feel, right? We'll go back to the emotions. How are you going to feel? And how are you going to try to deal with it? And how are you going to try to overcome that failure? It's an awareness of, I am not unbeatable. I'm not perfect. No one is. And there are so many things, the environment, the life changes, the emotions involved, and other people's emotions that might make this thing not happen, right? So you need to be ready to deal with failure. Because if you're not, and you just try hard and hard and hard and hard and hard, and you're not ready to deal with failure, and then one day suddenly it happens to you, you're gonna feel like it happened suddenly. You're gonna feel like you don't know what to do. You're left in blank, right? Your mind's just gone blank. You don't know what to do. You're stressed, you're anxious, you might even fall into a depression. You just find yourself lost. Because you weren't ready, weren't prepared for the possibility of you might fail, right? So with failure, well, you need to just come to peace with the idea that it might happen, it might come, it's a part of life, and that's all right. It shouldn't stop you from doing what you want, it shouldn't stop you from trying as hard as you can, right? But it just still needs to be a thing that you're aware of, that you're prepared for, that you're ready for, and that you're not scared of, that you will deal with it when it comes, if it comes, right? Because, and obviously, I'm not saying that it's not going to hurt if it happens. If you've been working really hard for your dreams and suddenly it all goes down and nothing works and just doesn't go through, it is going to hurt. Even if you're prepared for it, it's going to hurt, obviously. But again, emotions, right? Control them, deal with them, feel them. You're sad, be sad. You're upset because your dreams didn't work and now you don't know what to do. Be sad. Give yourself time to be sad, to be upset, to be a little bit down about it. Give yourself time. But time, right? Know how much you're going to take to calm down, to feel good again and be ready to go back again and try again a new thing or the same thing or a completely different thing, but go again, right? Now, this all ties together, right? So before we make a conclusion, let me just say this point in Chinese just really briefly. I think this one is not that complicated, so let me just quickly say it. So, failure 什么意思呢？ failure 就是 failure 怎么说？失败，不成功的，是吧？你要做一个什么样的目的，然后你就是没有做到的，然后你自己是要做什么？你要去准备，你要准备自己，准备自己是这个 failure 这个失败是会发现的一个情况，是不是说啊，因为我会失败，我会不成功，那我不要去做？没有，我不是这么说，我是说的是你要说实话，这个失败是会发现的一个情况，会有的一个可能。是吧？然后虽然我会失败，我还是要100%去做我要做的，很努力的去做，是吧？但是我要准备，失败是一个可能。然后如果发现的话，我感觉怎么样？我做什么？我怎么去了解一下我这个感觉？我需要多长的时间去感觉一下啊？我失败了，我可能有点不太开心，现在是吧？那我就要有点时间，就自己我一个人自己就放松一下，再可以去开始一个新的目的，是吧？需要准备的，就是这么简单的说。失败的情况不是说因为我会失败，我会不成功，那我要做什么？没有，或者我不要去很努力的做，没有100%很努力的去做，但是要准备，这个可能一个不成功的可能是会有的。所以如果有的话，那不会是感觉很突然的啊，我怎么办？没有，你先要准备，是吧？早一点准备，这个会发现的。Okay, so now how do we tie all of this together? We had the first point, right, which is life is a constant change. Let's write them down. Life is a constant change. It's always changing. It's not up to you. You can't do anything about it. It will happen. And it's okay. You need to be ready and you need to adapt. Emotions, you need to deal with them. You need to be able to deal with your emotions, feel your emotions, process your emotions, and understand why they happen, how they happen, and what can you do about it so that they don't control you, right? Number 3, actually that was number 2, but now I made it number 3. The environment, your surroundings, where you are, who you're with, right? Your environment, it's very important. It influences you a lot. What you can do, what you can't do, what you're able to do, how good you feel about things. It has a big impact on your life, and you need to acknowledge that so that you can then act accordingly, work and schedule yourself and prepare yourself to work according to that new environment, right? Number 4 will be failure, right? Yeah. So these 4, right? Failure, the one that I just said, you need to be ready for it. And these 4 points are the ones that are going to then let you. Now, how does all of these relate to going to achieve your dreams, working on your dreams, etc.? Okay, well, this is the process that you need to do almost every day to understand how and what makes you happy, how you can be a happy, fulfilled person with your life. Life is changing. Maybe right now it's not the best, but life is changing. Maybe right now your environment is not exactly the one you want, but life is changing. And you can do something about it. Your emotions, why are you feeling that way? Why are you feeling sad? Why are you feeling depressed? Why are you not happy? What is happening? What is causing that? And what can you do about it? What can you change about that? And then failure, right? Maybe right now you're not happy, you're very upset, you're very down because of the failure that you had. So let's be ready for it. Let's understand it. Failure is just basically one very big emotion that we have. It was actually, I think it still might be one of my biggest fears in life, failure. It's a very scary thing. I might fail in everything I want to do. Then what is with my life, right? So understanding all of this will allow you to be in a happier mood, in a happier place, feel and be happier. And then you can start looking for your dream. Then you can start looking for, okay, what is it that I want to do, that I want to achieve? That will be my dream, my goal for this year, for this month, for this semester, for these 2 years, for these 4 years, whatever time you want it to be. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm really sad, I need a dream. Let me go get a dream, then I'll be fine. You're not going to find one. It's not that easy. First, you need to do this process that will allow you to feel happier, to feel happy with what you have right now, where you are, and what your situation is. Don't force yourself, understand your emotions, and then it will be clearer and easier a little bit to look for a new dream, for a new passion, right? Try new things, different things, but always keeping this process in mind of like, I need to do this, I need to be ready for this, so that then I can go and find myself a dream, or if I already have one, so that I can go and work hard for it because I have this system that allows me to feel ready, right? How? Okay, so that's all I had for today. I hope you liked it. I hope it helps with your English. Hope it helps with my Chinese. Maybe if someone is learning Chinese, they can use these as well. Maybe, I don't know, my Chinese is not very good, so maybe you shouldn't learn Chinese from me. My English is okay, but anyways, it could be a good tool, right, to practice languages. So yeah, I hope you guys find it useful and maybe a little interesting. I know it's a bit of a long video. I'll try to make them a little shorter in the future, but this was like a class that we had planned, right? Some of you might remember we had a class. It was a live stream 1 hour class, and then it didn't work because we had some connection issues. So I decided we'll just make a full video about it so you can watch it at home and then actually, get the full topic, right? Anyways, that's all. I'll let you guys know. I hope you have a very lovely day or evening, what time you're watching this. But yeah, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.